2021, we talk about what is hot in the world of Xbox, what's coming and going on Game Pass each and every month. Thanks for listening. My name is Nick, and this is my co host. He was running from the cops. Well, sometimes he was the cops. On the Need for the Speed, Sean Abbott. How you doing, man?
I'm good. How are you doing, Nick?
I am doing fine. I just got done with a weekend full of hamburgers and fireworks and all kinds of, I just basically woke up from a meat coma. Basically, what happened?
so, so two and a half hours of Yakuza and then a big meat coma.
Yeah. That does it. So the weirdest thing that happened in Yakuza last night, because I always like to talk about the weird crap. Did you see the adult babies?
I saw the tweet. I didn't quite catch the actual gameplay.
I don't want to talk too much about it. It's a sub story, so it's not main story. But yeah, I had to go get formula for adult babies. I mean, that's a thing that happens. I also had to stay awake during a boring movie by punching sheeps in the face. So that was fun.
So,
These
so
are
the
things you
so,
do.
so the game has now started to get that weirdness that we saw in the E3 trailer.
So here's the thing: the main story is not weird. Is not weird at all. The main story is very serious and is pretty. I don't know, touching. You know, like he's going through this whole thing, and but then like all of a sudden you find this guy or whatever, and there's somebody you find, and you're like, hey, and he's like, come in and see my movie. He's like, no, don't you fall asleep. I'm like, oh, okay, what? Oh, I'll try. And I was like, what am I gonna have to do? And sure enough, these sheep come popping up while you watch this movie, and you gotta use QuickTime events to punch them in the face so that they don't make you fall asleep. So yeah, and it's just
So
it's
rather than
hilarious.
the complete opposite of counting sheep to fall asleep, to
Yeah,
stay awake, you punch them.
that's right.
It's
That's
I
what you do.
like it.
That's what you do in this game,
I'll try.
apparently.
I'll try that, and then I'm in a meeting at work next. Just start punching people in the face.
That'll keep you awake. That'll keep everybody awake. Uh, so yeah, it's gotten funky strange, but in times, but there's still this story there that's like, dang, I just got through chapter 5, which means there's 15 chapters. I'm third of the way through them, and they've also gotten quite a bit longer. I was spending like an hour and a half a chapter. This one was probably 3 to 4 hours. So
Wow.
so yeah, if that holds true, that means I still got 30 hours of gameplay in this baby. So, but I'm really trying to blaze the main story. We'll see. Anyways, how's life over there?
We're doing well. We're doing okay. Well, I say we. So England kind of had a bit of a party towards the back end of the week because for anybody that's a football fan, which is not me, the Euro 2020s is currently ongoing in England. We've beaten Germany, which is a big thing for us. We beat Ukraine 4-0, which was amazing for England. So they're now into the semi-finals, I believe. I can't remember who they're up against, but everybody's kind of like super excited and at the same time quite nervous because it's
Yeah,
So,
yeah, that's awesome.
yeah.
I saw a picture of them riding unicorns celebrating on like unicorn floaties in a pool. I think it was the England soccer team. I'm pretty sure, which I thought was pretty hilarious. There's like it was a small pool too, which is funny. I thought, and they were all shoved in it on these unicorn floaties. I thought that was funny. So that's the kind of news that makes it over here about your soccer team, Sean.
Yeah, I can imagine. Yeah. Other than that, it's okay. We've COVID. Obviously, we always talk about COVID, but it's always been there. That's caused a few problems. We've got Jay's at home because her class is shut down.
Yeah, how's that?
The
How's that life? You told us that last cast.
um,
How's that going?
It's fine. She gets up, she logs onto a laptop in her bedroom, does her schoolwork, and then comes out of the bedroom and kind of does what teenagers do for a bit, and then disappears back off in her bedroom and plays. I think she's playing Resident Evil: The Village at the moment, so she
Yeah,
kind of
unfortunately, it's too normal, isn't it? You're like, well, yeah.
yeah. So she's been playing that. She kind of started a run through, and then she ran out of ammo and was finding it really difficult. Had to fight a couple of beasts like with a knife only, which like I was pretty amazed at because when I've looked at gameplay footage, they're quite hard, like mini bosses to beat, and she did it with a knife. And then she kind of talking to her friend, she says that she missed a grenade launcher. She was picking up as a grenade launcher ammo. She missed a grenade launcher somewhere at the beginning of the game, so she kind of deleted that run through and gone back to start it again so she could pick up this other item.
Like
So
this, you have not played this one yet, right?
no, not yet. I'm waiting for it to be. She's like, the weekend just gone. She was like, "Oh, I'm gonna like start it again because of like I've missed this gun. Do you want to play it for a bit first? So then like you can like, oh, and like Lindsay goes, no, Sean's not gonna be able to do it. It's gonna be too busy. So she's like, oh, okay.
And you're like, wait, wait, wait,
so,
wait, hold on. Do I have a say? No. Okay. All right. Cool.
yeah,
Thanks.
so I've got to wait a little bit longer, but yeah, it's ready to go. And once Jay's finished playing, so.
Gotcha. Well, that'll be. I will be interested. Will you stream it? Some of it. I mean, not
Yes,
all of it, but
definitely,
some of it.
because yeah, I'll for the best part, every time I play, I'll try and stream it. So
Yeah, that'll be fun. I can watch it, but easier than I can play it. We don't really have any top stories this week, Sean. I will say I did think of just recently, people in Discord who don't have commitment issues like myself, and ordered their Design Lab controller already. When it first came out, they are getting emails saying that they are getting ready to ship. So Design Lab controllers are starting to get in the hands of people. I can't wait to see Twitter. I know people are going to be like, it's going to be lit up with different designs and what they're doing and how it looks. So I'm excited for that. I on the other hand, will never have one. So, but I have like 7 designs saved in pictures. And one day maybe I will commit to one.
you've got complete choice paralysis on that.
I
Then
do.
just you
Yep.
don't know which one.
It's like not $80, and I have all these choices, and every time I think, but the green looks a little bit better. You know, I was actually gonna be like, um, I had actually thought about being like, I just need to give it to somebody, be like Tim, who I know has a decent eye for designing those things. Be like, Tim, design me a Gamepass news one, and then put engraving on it, and then I'll just send you $90 and you just buy it, and whatever it looks like, I'm sure I'll be greatly happy. Like that's what I thought about doing.
Can you do Twitter? Can you do a? You can do Twitter polls, can't you?
I can, but I don't know how I do the. You can't put pictures in the polls, so I don't know how
No,
I
but you
would.
could. You can you not in the same tweet upload a photo of each one?
Oh, I
Upload
could do
7
that.
photos,
I could do that.
and then have label each one like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then do a Game Pass news style Twitter poll and see which one gets
I
picked
could.
top out of that one.
Here's why I wouldn't do that. Because I've seen the poor dads have to play the shittiest game possible because they're like, hey, here's 4 games, and you're like Super Mario 3, Donkey Kong Country 2, Metroid Prime, or like I don't know, I'm trying to think, or
Leisure Suit
ET.
Larry.
Yeah, something horrible, and of course, because we're assholes, we're like, hey, let's choose the shitty game. Let's make them
There
play
is.
the crappiest thing possible. I am guilty. I've done it. You poor dads. I'm sorry. But I've learned and been like, nah, I'm not giving that to the internet, because if I give it to the internet, I am surely gonna get some crappy controller, and everybody's gonna snicker the whole time. So,
True.
no.
That is a risk. Maybe do it to the Discord then, because the Discord are a kind of community than
Yeah,
World Wide
that's
Web.
true. And I mean, I'm giving them choices, so all 4 could be cool to me, and then they just help me make a decision. I get that. I might do that. Anyways, enough about that. I talk about it all the time. What have you been playing, man?
Other than the usual Warzone, Skater XL, and I've dipped back into Doom Eternal a little bit just because it's amazing. I can't ever stay away from it. Um, Need for Speed. That's I kind of like when I thought about streaming it, I was like, oh, I'll do it from the start. But then remembering what the game was like the first time around, I was like, the first few races are pretty boring and quite easy. They're not very challenging, so I thought that'd be quite boring to watch. So I went through and unlocked a few cars, unlocked a few more races, and thought I'd do it from there. So I played that quite a bit. And because it's a racing game and Logan absolutely loves cars, and police cars and stuff like that, so I thought I'd he's been sat watching me play it, which has been quite good
I'm sure he's been
and
having
quite
fun with
difficult
that.
because he sits on my knee and he's like gets really excited about it, so he's like bouncing around on my knee. So at the same time as trying to drive, yeah,
Nice.
added difficulty to the game.
Yeah, I bet. Well,
So,
that's
but yeah,
cool.
that's about it really. I mean, um, we've been kind of busy. Lindsay's started 2 challenges for charity, so we've been busy like going for walks and stuff like that. So
Oh, nice.
I think she's got 1 million steps to do between the 1st of July and the end of September, and she's running a mile every day for every day of July. So
How many steps a day does she have to get? I'm sure
um,
you've like
yeah, it's around 11,870 around that.
it's quite a few, but that's doable. Okay, that's doable. But man, you
Yeah,
you miss a day and it's gonna get rough, right? Like it just.
yeah. So because with what she does for work, she's kind of set herself this challenge of trying to get 15,000 and above every day, so she can bank a few thousand steps. So if she does have a day where like she's been at work and she's not been able to move around much and the weather's been rubbish and stuff like that, she's kind of like, okay, I've got a day where I can not
Yeah.
worry.
Yeah,
So
that's smart. Yeah, because that's what I was thinking. I was like, well, 11,000 is not bad, but you have a rough couple of days, and then all of a sudden you're up to 13,000. You need a day or something like.
yeah. So like yesterday was a pretty busy day. We did the school run. We walked to my gym, did an hour at my gym, walked back, but she'd already been swimming and done, like she'd already walked to and from swimming and run a mile and stuff like that. So she's on the game. She's doing fantastic with it. So
Wow. Walked. So you walked multiple. She walked to the pool. I'm sure she swam in the pool, and then she walked to your play. She walked to your gym. Did stuff. That's crazy. That's not ridiculous. That's
yeah,
just crazy.
she's
Kudos
pushing
to
me.
her.
It's like you saw that I tweeted the level of activity they just do when it came
Yeah,
to,
I did. Yeah.
so like she she's pushing herself really hard, and that's kind of inspiring me to push really hard. So yeah, I ache from like head to toe at the moment.
I'm sure, man. That's yeah. There's a lot of different activities going on that thing. Yeah. So for me, I've already talked about Yakuza. That is a game that just I didn't say this, but I am solely streaming that game. Every episode is in a of Yakuza Like a Dragon. Every time I play Yakuza Like a Dragon, it goes into like one of those let's play lists on YouTube, so you can always go back and see them if you want to. If you want to see a certain chapter that I beat, we just started chapter 5, so come on and join in on the party. It's kind of fun. Not
That game is definitely the game that just keeps giving. It seems to have
yeah
got more and more in depth and more crazy. For the stuff that I've seen you like talking about in the Discord and stuff, and like the bits that I do catch, because you stream it at like it's like 2 o'clock in the morning for me, so I'm like
yeah yeah.
normally asleep, so I try and catch it later on. So
Skip the first 30 minutes. I'm not gonna lie. Skip the, if you're playing the game, the first 30 minutes are very important. They teach you. They'll tell you how to get into the Siryu clan headquarters. Okay, but if you're just watching it, the first 30 minutes are me trying to put on different clothing. So just skip it. Anyways, there's that. The other thing, I don't mention this a lot because I kind of forget, because I actually played on the Switch more than Xbox. I've actually bought the $20 pass for it to be for me to be able to play it whenever I want. But Knockout City certainly is available on the Xbox, and man, I that is my go-to online multiplayer game. I absolutely love that thing. It can be so deep and so much strategy as balls are coming at you from all different angles. When to use the ultimate? Yeah, I said it.
I'm gonna say if John or Drew get hold of that, they're definitely gonna that'd be a soundbite to use. With balls
uh,
coming at you from everywhere.
balls coming at you from everywhere. It's yeah, it's crazy, but I absolutely love it. My son loves that game. We play it all the time. I'm at level like 92 at the moment, so
Wow.
yeah, we're having a lot of fun, and they're doing fun stuff. So just I think it just ended, but this last couple of weeks they did the heat wave. So you had to go around the different maps and find popsicles, which gave you extra points to download special heat wave or like yeah, download special heat wave items, buy special heat wave items. And so that was really neat. You know, you'd just be able to, if you didn't want to get in the fight, you could just roam around the world while other kind of Fortnite style, right? Like these little challenges that don't have to do with actually killing people. You're just trying to figure out.
Yeah, well, Fortnite, you land in certain areas, don't you, and
Yeah,
explore. Yeah.
yeah. So it was that same kind of idea. So I love that they're keeping it fresh. They're doing stuff like that. They're always switching around the modes. So they had a big four mode where there was it was 4-on-4 instead of 3-on-3, and you had to get more knockouts than just 10. And then they did another one where it was the ball up mode, real fun. There are no balls on the map, and you have to use it was 4-on-4, and you have to use each other. That's the only way you could get kills. So it's
That
super fun.
sounds like it'd be madness.
Yeah,
People, because you charge shot from where you chuck somebody in the air and they attack from below can deal so much damage. And if people are grouped together, because I'm assuming you'd have to be grouped together to
mhm.
ball up and throw each other, I bet that's quite a unique gameplay to have.
Yeah, Noah and I got real good at it. We would just leave our other two teammates in the dust, and we would run around together. And so when we'd see somebody, one of us we'd be like, "I'm balling up," and there you ball up, and then the other person gets to throw you. So yeah, we were having fun with it. It's my game that I play with Noah. He wakes up and he's like, "Do you got to go to work? Can we play now?" That's his thing. So yeah, those are the things that I'm currently. Um, what do we got for breaking news, man?
So breaking news: Xbox dropped a tweet yesterday, I believe. I think you retweeted it, and it labelled a couple of items that we've already seen. So the Ascent and Chris Tales. So we've already talked about those in previous episodes and given dates for those. So Chris Tales has got a date of the 20th of July, and the last date that we had for the Ascent was the 29th of July. But I think before we started, you were kind of saying that there's not really a definite date floating around. Even on the Switch, there's not been a definite date floating around. So
For last stop
the
or
Ascent,
the ascent.
the
No,
Ascent.
the ascent has a definite. What I was saying was their tweet didn't mention it. So they
All right.
so there's this they did this thread of tweets where it's like all these things in July. The ascent is mentioned on the all these things in July tweet, but then the last thread of the tweet it says these games are Game Pass games for July, kind of like just breaks those out. The ascent isn't on that list, but it is on the Game Pass app. So according to everything, it's still coming out July 29th. And I'm guessing it's probably gonna be on Game Pass. They just missed it. Um,
Yeah.
that's my guess. That's my hope, I guess, because it looks like a cool game. I want to play it.
So yeah. So yeah, the two that then we haven't spoken about really is The Last Stop, which looking at the game, like the release trailer for it, is a supernatural murder mystery style type thing. Very Sims style characters, movement, the voice, and not the voices, the way that the mouths move and stuff, the facial expressions. And that's apparently there's three different storylines that kind of run side by side but are intertwined with each other. And that's pretty much all they give away on the gameplay trailer. But it does look interesting. There's a bit of sneaking around. Like there's a lot of Telltale style adventure where you're choosing information that you can say to each other. So
Yeah, and now that's the one. That's the one where it's crazy that it's July 6th, and both Nintendo, because that's a game that's coming out on the Switch as well. Both Nintendo and Xbox just say coming in July. I mean, it's July. It's July 6th. Like, pretty sure we could nail down a date at this point, right? Starfield has a
yeah,
date, and it's like a year and a half away.
but like it's just like you said before we started, it has been a holiday weekend for everybody over in America, and Xbox being an American company, it was probably a scheduled tweet that they
Yeah,
built prior to the July 4th weekend. So we might
yeah.
see more details I think, well, what we've got 4 more days this week, so including today. So we might see more details come like end of play on Friday.
And they deleted one of those tweets and and then retweeted it, and it looks like they didn't change anything. So yeah, I don't know. I do get the feeling that somebody like was like, oh crap, I'm not gonna be here on Monday. I gotta I gotta get something up, and so they're like schedule. Okay, let's go on vacation.
See you later. I'm off for a bit.
Yeah.
So, and the other one on that list, on that tweet that they sent out, was the Forgotten City, which I haven't looked at, but you have. So, if you can share what you have seen.
Yeah, it's a time traveling detective game. There is where it's kind of like a who done it in this ancient Roman city. Sorry, let me start back. It's set in ancient Rome, and you have to figure out this murder mystery, I believe it is. I've never played it, but there is some combat in the game, but they specifically say in the description combat will only get you so far. So it looks like there's a lot of stuff. And I'm just gonna say this: they didn't mention why in the description at all, but in the trailer, everybody be turning to gold. So you shoot people with arrows and they turn to gold. I don't know why that matters. I don't know what that is. I just lots of gold people in this game. So that's a thing.
King Midas, was he ancient Rome?
Maybe. Yeah, they got the Midas touch arrows. Maybe I don't know, man. But yeah, a lot of gold.
A lot of gold. So yeah, that's pretty much all there is for breaking news. They're the ones that have dropped hot off the press from the Xbox Game Pass Twitter account. So, but we do have a couple of community questions from the party chat side of Discord. So,
You want me to read them?
um, if you want to take the first one, and I'll take the second one.
Sounds fantastic. Let's figure this out on air. I like
uh,
it. From Shiv UK, and first off, guys, we thank you so much for questions. We love them. We like to chat with you guys via Discord, through questions that we do on podcasts. So we thank you so much for reaching out to us with questions. You can do it on any of our deals. A lot of them are below. Game Pass, either Twitter, Facebook, Twitch. We now Instagram. Sean's got a TikTok thing that he'll have to talk about because I don't know. I thought it was a clock, so I'm too old for that kind of stuff. But Shiv UK says, "Is there anything? Sorry, is there anything that you don't like about Xbox Game Pass ecosystem? The thing I'm disliking at the moment is how little notice there is for games leaving Game Pass. Last month, all the Kingdom Hearts stuff left. Soon it's Monster Hunter World, and they're gone. They were gone as of July, so he's not wrong. A week's notice isn't enough to make a decent dent on these games, so I ended up not bothering. Now I have ridiculous FOMO anxiety in working out what to try next."
Yeah, I'd say that is probably one of the worst things about Game Pass is that there is no leaving. You do. No, I need to remember. I do get messages every now and then from Xbox Live on the Xbox, and you can access this via the companion app for the Xbox. And I think that does tell you what is leaving soon and what is potentially coming out soon. But you don't always get notifications of those. It's just a bubble you have when you load the Xbox up sometimes. So yeah, that's probably the only thing I don't like about it. I mean, the social media side of things, they're pretty much on point with letting us know what's coming soon and what isn't. So
Well, that's a good point, Sean. And I thought when I read this question, I thought about this. So I used to do these Game Pass recaps. Everybody, if you're on our YouTube, you could see them. I stopped doing them for the reason that Xbox does a Game Pass. It was like a weekly Game Pass recap. I stopped doing them because Xbox does one, and guess what? Theirs is a lot better than mine. I can admit when somebody does something better than me. They're paying it people who know how to video edit. They have access to all the assets. It's a lot better than mine. So I was like, why am I doing a recap when I could just like retweet theirs? This makes more sense. But you know what Xbox doesn't do for obvious reasons, because nobody wants to say, hey, look what's leaving our system. Isn't this fun? And I did do that on our Game Pass recap. I would put what was they had out that they said we were leaving. So I might pare it down to the what's leaving soon recap or something, and do something like that for people. because yeah, we want to be helpful, but we don't need to produce content just cuz. Content creation is a
Yeah,
collaboration, not a competition.
yeah, definitely. So,
There's too much
and
stuff to
we
talk
did
about.
get. I think it was it Shiv that said he doesn't understand how we make time for all this kind of stuff.
Might have been. Yeah, somebody
Yeah.
said that. Yeah.
So yeah, and it is a labor of love.
Yeah,
So
it is.
I tweet late at night. I stream late at night because that we don't have many UK followers at the moment, but we have plenty of US followers, and that means that I have to either be up really early and stream, which the household doesn't like because I make a lot of noise, or stay up that little bit later, which the household doesn't mind as much because the rest of us are pretty late night animals apart from the youngest two. So, but they sleep through thunderstorms quite easily. So, but yeah, it is a labor of love, and we do try our hardest to keep making new stuff and getting things out there. So, but that is because we get feedback from you guys. We get people joining us on Twitch and watching us. We get people chatting with us on Discord and interacting with us on Twitter and stuff like that. So it makes it worth it.
Yeah, you're exactly right. I mean, I when I play Xbox, most of it is streamed. There are very few things that I don't play streamed, so that's one way I do it. Grounded is one of those things because I don't think you guys want to watch me run around and get killed by bugs.
Screaming,
Yeah,
ah!
yeah.
Spider!
So yeah, I don't necessarily play that one streamed. But most of the stuff I play on Xbox does get streamed, and I will say I found with with our previous podcast, Dad Crossing, because I don't think it's hard to see. I don't hide it. I'm an Animal Crossing fan. Um, and so I just the New Horizons was my favorite game, and it was a great game. Don't get me wrong. It probably was one of the best in the series. But it wasn't because of the game that I loved it. I loved it because we had this huge community that came around it and we all chatted about it in the dad's Discord. And so, I thought why not bring that to Xbox and do that for Xbox, and well, not I, but we thought why not do that for Xbox. So,
Yeah,
so yeah. And that's what makes it fun.
definitely. So,
Oh, wait, do you
so
have
the
anything else? I'm sorry. The first part of that
no, I mean,
question was, is there anything else you don't like about the Xbox Game Pass ecosystem?
yeah. Now it says now I have ridiculous FOMO. I don't fear of missing out.
Yeah, fear of
That's
missing out.
FOMO,
Yeah.
isn't it? So I don't know. Those games didn't. I mean, Kingdom Hearts I've tried to play before. I couldn't get on with it. It was too Final Fantasy for me. It was just I liked the idea of the Disney crossover and things like that and that kind of world. But I tried it and I was like, oh man, this is very Final Fantasy. So I stayed away from it. So, but for that fear of missing out, I wouldn't worry too much about it. I'd maybe go in. What I do every now and then is I just peruse the entire of everything. So I go into like all available games and just scroll down and think, oh, that looks good. No, that looks good. And I kind of like I download it, give it a try. If I don't like it, I don't like it, sort of thing. So um, we will try and do our best to give you a heads up of things that might be leaving, just in case you want to get hold of them. But it's difficult other than fishing through and looking for dates of where things are leaving. So
Yeah, and I would say to the FOMO, I think once you're on Game Pass for a while, that kind of that kind of goes away. Um, so it looks like Monster Hunter World came out to Game Pass. I was interested starting April 11th of 2019.
so it was there
So
for a while.
yeah, so it's been there for a while, but if you're new to it, yeah, that is hard because you're like, okay, where do I jump in? Like, which one of these games have been out for a while, and where does that land? Um, I mean, we're always playing the whatever's new, right? For Game Pass news and all that jazz, so we don't
Yeah,
we don't jump back. But yeah, I mean, if in a couple of years you're like, oh, Yakuza Like a Dragon, that was a great place to jump in. I'm gonna jump in right there, and you jump in right there, and then Microsoft's like, well, this has been on here for like 2 years, and I'm sure they have metrics of who's played what and how long stuff is getting played, and so I'm sure they're using that to be like, yeah, that's not worth our server space, um, and so they kick it off. And I'm sure some of it has to do with contracting too, for sure. Whatever.
Yeah, I gotta say they're big ones. So like, I think Grand Theft Auto is still on there and has been for a long time. Forza Horizon 4 is on there. Same with the normal Forza Horizon Racing.
Well, in Microsoft games, you're never going to have to worry about. You're not going to see them because Monster Hunter is a Capcom game. I'm fairly certain
Yeah,
of that. And so you're. I don't think you'll see. I'll say this. I don't think you'll see a Microsoft first party game roll off of Game Pass. I just don't think that'll happen. They'll just keep adding to it. You'll have all the fables and all that stuff available to you. So, but for me, Xbox Game Pass ecosystem. I don't know. I have been really enjoying my time with it. That is certainly an issue. Don't get me wrong. I agree with that. What you mentioned, Shiv. Um,
I mean, I had a pretty good chat with we had a family friend come round the other day, and his son's got a PlayStation 5, and he was and a Switch, and like he saw my Series X, and he's like, "Oh, I really want one of those," and he was like saying to us, "Oh, I want one of those for Christmas," and I kind of like, "But you've got a PS5. Why? What do you want an Xbox for?" And he goes, "Oh, because I want to play Forza. I want to play Forza Horizon." And I was like, but why? What's difference between Gran Turismo? And he's like, it's just I haven't played it. I was like, well, that's fine, but so if you were gonna, said if anything, if you were that bothered about wanting to play a racing game, Forza's probably the better one because he's only like 8 or 9 years old. So Forza's probably a better one for you to play than Gran Turismo because Gran Turismo is a serious driving simulator. So, and I kind of said to us, I said, look, for me, I prefer the Xbox because of the Game Pass. There's more available. You know, you pay your online subscription all in, so like I do, and it's like 12.99 a month, and you pay 11.99 a month all in. You get Game Pass included, and I've got instant access to over 100 different games. So like it's one of those where I'm never bored. There's like,
mhm.
and I said to him, I said like there's FIFA on there at the moment, so it's not the most current FIFA, but there is a FIFA there, so you don't always have to buy the current one. You can keep playing, sort of thing. So like for me, the Xbox is the better one because of the Game Pass. PlayStation, the PSN Plus network, they have good games that come free with it. So they have better, like, so Xbox has got the games with gold. They have a better version of that, but they don't have this streaming service, not a streaming service, but a like a catalog of games that you can download at any time. So
And I think
yeah,
as gamers, we always do that. I mean, I think gamers inherently have a FOMO of like what There's a part of me that's like, I could buy a PS4 and play like God of War because that game looks really cool, and Horizon Zero Dawn and all that stuff, and The Last of Us. Those games do look cool. Um, and I do think that Microsoft, even though they have all these studios that they've gobbled up, um, does have a missing piece of like a missing good first person, and Bethesda might be able to cover this for them, like in Starfield and stuff coming out, but they have a good like single player campaign game that they're missing. They don't have the Zelda or the Last of Us or the
yeah.
God of War, one of or
Well,
something like that.
the one that made me go back to PlayStation for the PS4 was um I went back for Sackboy because he is like Sony's
Yeah.
little fun-loving character and that whole sandbox world and stuff like that. When I had my first knee operation, like because I was pretty much sat down for a week after that, I played the living crap out of Little Planet and loved it. Um, so that's kind of like I go back to that every now and then. So I get that pang of I want a PlayStation for this. So like Lindsay bought me the PS4. Um, it was a Father's Day present. She picked it up cheap from Sarah, and so like I could play The Last of Us and stuff like that. But then I had both systems, and it kind of like did. I was playing more of the Xbox because I was enjoying the stuff that was on there and that was available, and kind of drifted away from the PlayStation. And it kind of sat there collecting dust. And she was like, "You don't play that." I was like, "Yeah, I know, but like rumors this game might be coming out or
Yeah.
this game, so I might go back to it. And she's like, yeah, but it's not worth it for what it is there. So I kind of like went, yeah, you're right, and kind of shipped it off with the VR and everything. That sold it all on for like £400. So I made a good deal out of that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, and I don't have any time for a PlayStation. I mean, I just like you got to make it right. I mean, you got to pick what and choose what you can have time for and what you want to do. And mm, yeah, no, I just don't have any time for it. I was gonna say
Yeah.
no, I don't have any time. I'm not gonna justify getting a PlayStation for sure. Um, so the one thing, it just hit me because I was gonna say something and then I thought that's not fair because I haven't really looked into it. Um, we should do an episode on parental controls and the Xbox. We should totally.
Actually, that's without saying it too loudly because Jay's in the next room. Um, come September, that's something I'm going to have to look at and actually use because yeah, we're tightening the control on screen time and stuff as of September because she's got her like she starts year 11, so she's her final year of high school, so she's got to like with look, you've really got to focus. You've got your GCSEs to get because they kind of dictate what you do later on in life. So we're gonna kind of rein the screen time in a bit. So that'd be pretty cool. Because it's something I want to look into, so I'll be doing some research on that anyway. Um, so
Yeah,
yeah, that'd be a pretty cool episode to do.
yeah, let's do that. Because I've been talking to the wife about letting Noah know because he's getting, he's gonna be in second grade now, and even in second grade, you got kids that like have Xboxes, and so I was like, we probably should like teach him how to use this and let him understand it so he knows what so he knows there are other stuff out there. So yeah, so let's do that. There you go. I'm glad we could have this planning session on air.
So yeah.
All right, what's the next one?
The next question is from Togobap, who every time I stream jumps in and says hello. So it's
Man's
great.
awesome.
Yeah. So he says, which is your favorite Xbox controller and why? And which Xbox controller is best for the cloud gaming? And he just says he's tried a PS4 and it's ass backwards. So I'm assuming that's the buttons are in the wrong place.
Yeah, I have no doubt.
um, I I've always used the controller that came with the console up until I was bought the Elite Series One. And I got that at the same time as because I bought it I bought my dad it as a Christmas present, and I was like really excited about it. Like, I opened the box up and took everything out, had a really good look at everything, and felt it, and I was like, this is like it's a really good weight. It's a little bit. It was like a bit chunkier, a bit bigger than the normal one, so it felt like ergonomically better in the hand and stuff. And then like the use of the paddles, I was like, I got really excited instantly. Says, oh, this is gonna be amazing for driving games and stuff. So I boxed it all back up, wrapped it up, gave it to my dad. Christmas Day, I opened one. Lindsay had bought me one. And I was like over the moon,
That's
absolutely.
awesome.
And I haven't used another controller since, even with the Series X. The only reason why I took the Series X controller out of the box was to look at it, put it back in the box, and then when Gamepass came for the iOS through the um, Safari, all that
Mm.
sort of stuff. I got it back out of the box because unfortunately the Elite Series one doesn't connect to my phone as a wire. It does connect, but it just doesn't operate, doesn't do anything.
Yeah,
So
that's
because
like that's like how the Series X controllers were. You'd connect before iOS released the patch.
yeah,
They'd connect and then you'd be like, oh, it doesn't do anything. It's like it sees it, but it doesn't do anything.
yeah.
Um,
So I
oh,
mean,
go.
I love it. I've never used a third party controller. I was looking at the Power A ones the other day. They were in I was in game and I was kind of like looking at them and I was like, yeah, but my experience with third party controllers has always been that they've not been as good as um, like the ones that came with the console are made by the same manufacturer. So I've kind of avoided them. So,
Yeah, so I mean, there are a ton of options out there. Unfortunately, like I haven't tried most of them. I mean, I want to get a backbone, which is the one that slides open. It's I don't think it's made by Microsoft, but it's Microsoft approved. Microsoft approved. And you put your phone in there. It's certainly made for your phone sits in the middle. It makes it feel like a Switch almost. I don't want to say feel, but it looks like a Switch. I've not felt it, so I don't. And so I've heard that that one works out very well for xCloud games. Um, I have had great luck with my Series S controller. It actually was one of the reasons that I thought about buying the Design Labs controller, just because if I got into playing games on my iPad, because I could, in theory, I could. We have an HDMI to iOS plug upstairs that's constantly connected to the TV for when we want to show something on our iPad or something like that. We don't use it much anymore because the Roku has most everything we want to, like on YouTube and stuff like that. But before we had the Roku, we would hook up our iPad to the TV and watch YouTube. If we had something on YouTube we wanted to watch, we'd watch it that way. And so I could, in theory, hook my iPad up to my TV upstairs and stream xCloud games, and then just play with my Xbox controller. And so I thought, well, I could just leave that one up there and then use my Design Labs one down here with my actual Xbox. And so, but I've had good luck with, obviously, with the Xbox S controller. I mean, that's gonna be your best option, right? I mean, let's be honest. That's gonna be your best option because they're Xbox games and it's controller. Saving some money. There are, well, actually, it doesn't even save some money. There's a PowerA controller here, but it's $69.99. This is on Microsoft's site that they're kind of pushing these guys. Um, and if you buy the Xbox, if you have the Xbox controller and you're looking for a way to just match your phone to it, they do have the clamps. I'll post one of those in it clamps to your controller and then also to your phone, so the both of them kind of hook together. Um, and I'll post that to our Discord so that you have a better idea of what we're talking about. They're really cheap. They're like $15. So that's another way that it can hold your phone. And I'll get the one that both Tim and Drew have bought, and they say they really work. Drew said it's a little hard to kind of get your phone in and out at times, but it works. So those are probably the best options that are out there at the moment. Just using the backbone, which is I think $90, $80 something. So it's a little pricey, or using a Series S controller and a clamp for your phone.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go the clamp way because I want another controller. And so instead of buying a proprietary, and one day I'm gonna buy another controller. And so instead of buying a proprietary backbone device, just buy another controller and use it. That's what I think.
So while you were talking about controllers, I might look like I'd spaced out a little bit. There has been an announcement from Nintendo.
From
They
Nintendo.
are releasing October 8th a brand new OLED Switch.
I'm sorry. Say what? Say what? Say what? You
Hey,
gotta say what?
Yep,
What just
October 8th. Somebody dropped it in the Discord.
what just
K9
happened? What?
K9 Cantina has literally just dropped the news that there is a new OLED model Switch coming October 8th.
Now, okay. Sorry. Holy crap! That looks amazing.
Yes, it's 7-inch OLED screen. It's got a wider, more adjustable backstand. It's got a fixed LAN port straight away.
God bless
That's all
Nintendo.
that.
They just had this gigantic E3, and they're like, nah, don't worry about it. We won't talk about that.
Yeah. But yeah, October 8th. So
Well,
having an
how big is
OLED,
the old screen? That's what I want to know.
6.2 or 6.4, I believe.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, not
There's
huge, but
yeah.
it's not a massive difference. I'm just quickly going back now through the video.
I'd need to see more than that for me to buy it. $350. Wait, $350, folks. So let's stick with Game Pass news and here. So now you can buy. Well, they'll have. I wonder if they'll have 3 models or just 2. Are they going to have a
Well,
light, a regular, and a pro? Because if they don't,
no,
and they just have a light and a regular, then you can buy an Xbox cheaper than you can buy a Switch. And I think that's something that's interesting.
yeah. So
It has
no,
a LAN
but
port, and it's 64
yes,
gigs, not 32.
yes, which means for me, I mean, at the end of it, they kind of just display the Nintendo Switch, the OLED model, and then the Switch Lite, which kind of tells me that this is your Pro model as such for me. That is like the beast mode of the Switches.
Enhanced audio for onboard modes. And I'm not going to lie. I mean, this is cool. I already have a portable LAN. Um, I'm always happy for 3/4 of an inch bigger screen. Uh, and some more internal storage, but I can take care of that another way.
Yeah, I
Um,
mean, they need to push more information. Like, is the processor better? I mean,
yeah.
because it's got an OLED, does that mean that the processor is better? The graphically, it's better. And then linking it back to Xbox, is this the start of, because they've got an OLED screen and to potentially have better internals, are they gonna do the whole Game Pass, Game Cloud to the Nintendo?
Yeah, this is interesting. This isn't entirely what I was hoping for, but it is. Is it the same size? Do we know? It looks like it
Yeah,
might be.
it physically looks like it's the same
They
size.
just pushed the screen out like everybody said they were going to.
Yeah, so it's
Yeah.
gone from 6.2 to 7, so you lose that little bit of bevel around the edge.
Yeah, which is cool. I'm good with that. I mean, there's a lot here that's awesome. Don't get me wrong. I mean, and I could, yeah, I don't know. That's interesting.
Sorry. I was like looking at it and watching the video and I was like, am I going to mention this during the middle of our Xbox related podcast or not? And I
You
thought I
had
would
to.
because
You
I
had
wanted
to,
to see
man.
Nick's reaction, which
Yeah,
is
no, it was
perfect.
totally worth it. I think it's cool. I think there is some stuff there. It's probably worth the 350, but barely, to be honest. I mean,
Yeah.
instead of the 299. Wait, so this is what I wanted to ask you. I'm not great with screens. Does this mean that does an OLED screen mean that I can have this outside? And because I don't know if you've ever tried to have your Switch in the sun, but you
Yeah,
might
you
as well
should.
just bury it in the ground because it's
It
worthless.
yeah, it means that you don't need a backlight because basically your blacks are going to become black and your colors are going to be sharper, crisper, clearer, and you won't have much of a motion blur because obviously you haven't got that kind of deal. Your frames per second can be better as well because it's LED. LEDs can handle being switched on and switched off like a lot quicker than a backlit display.
I'm not gonna lie. All you really had to do, by the way, my phone is like every single news outlet is now like just blow like even ones that don't care about video games, like
Yeah,
The Verge, Bloomberg. I mean every every single outlet.
yeah.
Uh
Discord's just gone mental.
yeah. Um if the thing that sells me on this over all the things that we've talked about that are on it, the thing that sells me on this is that I can have the screen outside. And that's
Yes.
no joke. Like the fact that, or like in a car, even in a car, if you're in the passenger seat and you're trying to play on your Switch, I mean, it's so washed out. It's almost impossible to do anything if it's the middle of a
I,
day.
I believe as part of the video they've actually got a lady sat outside playing it in the sun.
Yeah, they know that's their biggest downfall with that game. I mean, the fact that I can't just sit like we have a tent swing. I would love
Yeah.
to go in my tent swing and play some Mario Golf, but I can't do that. I won't be able to see anything. So yeah, that's the biggest thing right there. I'm down for that, and
Yep.
I'll buy it.
I have a small feeling that I will be buying this for myself
Yep.
around my birthday in December.
If it wasn't for that screen that I can take outside, I don't know that I'd pull the trigger because I already have a portable LAN that you can hook up to the
Yeah, I've got the USB
dock.
connectable
Yeah,
anyway.
USB.
So,
Yeah, exactly. So there's not much here, but man, that screen, if it's brighter and better, and I can take it outside, that changes everything for
yep. So anyway, on with this Xbox related podcast.
me. Live
we haven't
news.
re- Yeah, we haven't got much anything else to say really. I was just going to quickly recap the golden ticket, and that was about it because we've kind of talked a lot about a lot to say that there wasn't much on the actual document for this week. We've covered things a lot.
Third strongest mole just says I've got a USB adapter too, but testing speed it doesn't do much. Here's hoping the new model does better. Yeah,
Yeah,
and that's
direct line.
true. That's true
Yeah,
even
you've
with
got.
Wi-Fi third strongest mole. I'd love to have had them talk about an enhanced Wi-Fi port. Because my Switch is the worst Wi-Fi device I have. Sorry, go
Yeah,
ahead, pal.
but because you've got to have with USB, it's got to carry like a 3.5 to 5 volt power from something to you've got that disturbance of your information running alongside a powered port. So you've got that disruption, like electrical disruption. If you want to go down onto like the brass tacks of like down the deep internals of everything, you've got a powered port running your information alongside it. So there's going to be EMF pickup and everything. So that's probably why it slows it down. So having a fixed one where it doesn't require it to be powered from a USB.
So I would bet they're gonna run 3 models. Also in good Nintendo Switch fashion, because if they don't run 3 models, then Xbox has a leg to stand on with their Series S. Their
Yeah.
Series S, and I don't think they're gonna want that. So in good Nintendo fashion, though, they have named bless them, they've named it the Nintendo Switch OLED model because that's the best they could come on. I mean, I guess it's very descriptive. I give them that. So if you're in the
Yeah.
store, you know what you're looking for.
It hits
But
the
it is
spot.
funny that that's the model name. I guess maybe is it better than the new Nintendo Switch? Probably.
Yeah.
It is probably. So I'll give it to him. That's
Uh,
funny. The OLED
so
model.
yeah. So the golden ticket stays exactly the same as it was in the last episode. Shadows Awakening, which is available now up until the 15th of July. So not long to get that. Conquer Reloaded is available now. I've downloaded that. That's the same. That's available until 15th of July. And Planet Alpha, that's now out and disappears at the end of July as well. So end of July, we're probably looking at getting some more games of gold. So we'll probably update you back end of July, beginning
Well,
of August
actually,
as to what's.
in a week we'll know what's gonna replace Shadow Awakening and Conquer.
Well, that's something I'll cover while you're not here next week.
Yo, that's true. I am going to be on vacation. Welcome to not having as many pandemic restrictions. My family and I are going to go visit some of our extended family in Iowa, and so we will be gone on vacation next week. So Sean is going to take the reins and do whatever he's going to do. Who knows?
Ah,
I can't wait to see. He's going to.
I have no idea. All I know is that so far I've been playing with OBS and I've got some form of background started. I've got like a week to figure that out.
That's enough time. That's all you need. Just a week. One. You're just like sure, whatever.
I will do my best.
John will do awesome. I have absolutely no doubt about that. I will miss not being on the cast. This is the first time in all of Dad Crossing and Game Pass news that I will miss a podcast with Sean. I don't know. Man, go so long
No.
without hanging out with you, Sean. I'm gonna definitely
I know
gotta.
we've gone from every other week to every week. It's going to be
It's
kind of
true.
weird
It's
that
true.
you're not going to be there for the week.
It's
So
yeah, I know. It's actually there are times, especially like E3, where sometimes I think I might have hung out more with you that week than I did my wife. No, no, no joke.
yeah, it was mentioned in this household that you really doing another stream. It's like, yep, E3 is crazy.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like the nerd central of the world. So, and I am a big nerd. So there you go.
Amen. All right.
So yeah, that's everything for this week. I'm gonna go and try and do a bit of a deeper dive on the internals for this new Switch, see if there's any information out there. So uh, as always, you can follow us on Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. I'm slowly working on the TikTok still, and I will probably push that on social media once I've actually made a video and that I'm happy to release. So far, it's just me speaking lots and not really figuring out what the hell I'm doing. So just look for Game Pass news and you'll find us on all those. A quick word, we keep mentioning Discord, and you can chat with us there on the Nintendo Dads Discord. Head over to patreon.com/Nintendo Dads and subscribe to get your access. Word of warning: if you do join in the next week, it's going to be absolute madness with the new Nintendo and
Yeah.
people either arguing what is better or not better, or basically just people saying shut up and take my money. So yeah,
I will
we hope to
argue
hear
what's
from you.
better and not better and have them take my money all at the same time.
Well, that's what everybody does. That's what
That's
every
right.
gamer always does. It's going to be rubbish. No, it's going to be great.
That's
No,
right.
I bought it anyway.
I hate this thing so much. Here you go. I can't believe you're gonna do this to us. Thank you for taking my
Yeah,
money.
take my money. I'm not happy about it, but there it is. It's done. So yeah. But anyway, guys, until next time, see you later.
See you later, guys.